Good morning to you on a windy morning in Mildura. Everything's clanking again. Maybe a dust storm this afternoon, maybe rain. And the first 40-degree day of the spring. I'm reading an account of the 88th day, still in Melbourne before I resume my walk in order to complete it. This is the walk down the Murray from source to mouth that took place in 2015. 88th day. It's very early in the morning of my departure back to Milang and to the walking. I've come down to the water just to say my goodbye, though I'm not sure to whom or to what. As I stand by the shore, I'm just realizing that everything otherwise known as it actually really is what it is. In other words, all of it, each single thing individually or the entire big universal messy cloud of dust and gas is all is what it is. People occasionally say it. I hear it as I walk past someone or overhear a phone conversation, usually earnest. Oh, it is what it is. Even a good friend of mine says it a lot, convinced that it constitutes words of wisdom or even a life-transforming phrase if injected into the right context at just the right moment. But even if each time I've heard it, it's made no sense or has been so seemingly obvious that I've ignored it, suddenly it's blazing bright in big letters on my horizon. Why is this? Perhaps because I suddenly recognize that saying it or hearing it said simultaneously brings both a sense of separation and of connectedness to the forefront of one's mind, as though each condition is actually an inextricable part of the other. Epimetheus said, each object has a separate science. Maybe that has something to do with it. After all, aren't we all inexorably aligned to our isness? I know that at times I've journeyed down pathways thinking they were new, only to realize they were not the minute I recognized that my response was similar to many I'd had before. We dig increasingly deeper furrows in our conditioned engagement with the world. Each might seem new and authentic as the smell of fresh earth invades our senses, but it's in fact the same old rhizomatic response pathways that we attend to, all the while believing that each time we dig, we're expanding the network. So if everything is what it is, why not stop digging? But now the light from the sun setting behind me has faded to an orange glow, tinged green at its edge and darkening to a deep indigo higher in the liquid sky above it. Just this simple moment, one that's been repeated an infinite number of times since the very beginning, is enough to sabotage the mind, insistently persistent in its vain attempt to know. I shut my eyes and allow the sound of the small, shallow waves to enter me, acknowledging, of course, that each tiny wash of salt water upon the shore is uniquely itself, and no matter how many may arise and fall, none will ever be replicated. '89th day, Milang. Windswept prairies, sparse grasses, bare trees, sullen green water of a lake that's neither salty nor sweet, ruined houses, abandoned, long ago dull eyes. I walk amongst this again. Or is all that the substance I carry in me and then project upon sweetest, kindest lands and their peaceful histories? It feels like a dream that cannot exhaust itself. It simply resumes its residency in me at different times of the day and night. In 2 days, the walk along the river from Robinvale to Goolwa will come to an end when I walk into the surf of the Southern Ocean. Then it will be Christmas once more. Will I keep walking afterwards? So many of us will be missing. My eldest daughter healing alone somewhere on the East Coast, my father gone now, almost 2 years to the day, my mother 4 months ago, others too. Walking has somehow become imminent in the rest of what I am, what I do, so it won't end when the river walk ends. And it didn't begin when I descended from the snowy slopes of Mount Kosciuszko down into Tom Grogan. I have more to say about that. Perhaps when I can speak again, I will say it. Then again, I may not. Or someone may not. It's gotten dark while I've been writing. Through the crack of the caravan's curtains, I can see the caravan park's lights. A new moon tomorrow morning will shine invisibly over my second last walk. I'm trying to slow down the reading because I don't want to get to the end. But of course, the end is inevitable, as endings are. And in a couple of days, I will have ended my reading of Walking Slowly Downhill. But it's as though I want to savour it more intensely, more deeply, more in the moment. But that's just a reflection of how this reading essentially is a kind of monologue to myself in many ways, as it brings up, reignites, accentuates many aspects of this experience, and in so doing it lights up in a grand way many aspects of my life. So, until tomorrow for another reading.